Here we go. We're recording now. So welcome to our Tuesday at 10 meeting. And I have some interesting tidbits to share with you. So first of all, we'll talk about just kind of on a national scene, what's going on nationally. We have Compass Realty in the process of potentially purchasing Berkshire Hathaway. And as I shared last time, Rocket Mortgage is after uh, purchasing Redfin. So there's some appears to be some consolidation going on in the real estate industry right now, which was kind of interesting. All is quiet in terms of anything new with the NAR settlement.
Okay,
Pretty much the way it has been.
you mean the audio
So
or the video?
no changes there. There are
Okay, I
some
closed the video.
people that are
What'd you say?
talking
Okay,
about the
I'll kill the
clear
audio.
cooperation policy. So from that perspective, I think that there is the potential that could be that's supposed to be voted on. I haven't heard any results from that, so I don't know specifically anything further about the clear cooperation policy, but that's still in the works of whether NAR is going to keep that policy and enforce it or not. So I'll keep you posted as I hear anything on that. On the national basis. From IAR, I get a broker's advisory email from them typically on Tuesday mornings. So I got my one this morning. Two things of interest there. They had some pretty extensive Q&A or frequently asked questions concerning broker compensation. And I think it's worth a read. It's rather long. So what I did is I emailed it to you. I downloaded and emailed it to you so that you have a copy of it. It's going to take a little time for you to go through. So, you don't have to look at it immediately, but I would set aside the time to at least scan through it and look at the questions and see if any of those questions resonate with you. Then you can look at the answer from IAR. Most of it's common sense, and most of it is pretty normal that we've discussed in the past. But there's some additional things in there, so I think it's worthwhile for you to look through it. The second thing that they had, and I'm going to share my screen here. Let me pull this over here. Okay, what you should be seeing right now is a slide that says understanding home appreciation. Do you see that? You don't, do you? Okay, hang on a second here. What I'm going to have to do here to make that work.
We saw it for a little bit and then it disappeared.
And it disappeared.
There it is.
Okay, do you see it now?
I do.
Yep.
Okay, good. They put together a little slide deck. And I think it's interesting because it talks about understanding home price appreciation. And we typically measure median sales price, but by linking repeat sales, we can measure real price appreciation. And so that's what they've done. And what they're trying to do is show what the real financial impact is for sellers. And so this is kind of interesting. They tracked real price growth used in 20 years of statewide MLS data, focusing only on homes that have sold multiple times. And here's what they found. First of all, sellers in early 2025 are seeing 6.7% annual appreciation, which is higher than Indiana's long-term of 3.5%. So that's pretty, that's pretty impressive price appreciation. The second thing, owners who bought in 2015 to 2018 are selling for 76% more on average, gaining over $115,000 in equity. And so that's pretty impressive. And that's 7 to 10 years ago. So that's pretty impressive appreciation. Starter homes have appreciated the fastest, 7 and 9% annually. And that gives first-time sellers the biggest equity boost. So someone who's sitting in a first-time home buyer home, they have the greatest to gain right now by selling that home. Sometimes, so for homes under 200K, they've had 8.7% per year appreciation. So the bottom line is home values have risen every year since 2013. And so sellers today haven't missed the market. That market has just continued to grow and to be a positive thing. So I think that we need to tell that story to our group, maybe our sphere of influence, because there's probably homes out there that people are sitting on because they have a low mortgage, when really they should be thinking about the appreciation that they've gained, and maybe now's the time to make that move. So how fast are prices growing? 3 months ending February 2025. Sellers got a 6.7% annual appreciation. Compared to January 2025, that appreciation rate was 6.8%, and compared to February 2024, that appreciation rate was 7.4%. So that's a pretty impressive thing to think about in terms of the growth in equity that people have in their homes. Now, we all know that the market's become less affordable. And that's one of the reasons it's become less affordable, is that appreciation or that equity growth that the current homeowners have. So, people that did get in the market instead of renting have really seen their equity increase dramatically versus those people who have not. And so now it might be time to realize some of that equity by selling a property and then moving up and using that equity to finance that move up. Now, it's no surprise that low-priced homes are appreciating the fastest. So, the lowest priced homes, they get the highest appreciation. But even high-priced homes get a pretty strong 5.8% appreciation. So you can see what's going on from appreciation perspective. So the fastest growing market, they bought there 7 to 10 years ago. So those are the people that are the ones that are seeing a lot of price appreciation, and it's been a steady curve up. If they only bought 4 to 6 years ago, okay, you can see what happened to theirs. They kind of missed it a little bit. It is declining, or has declined a little bit, but now it's bumping back up. So some of these people, and these people that bought just recently, 1 to 3 years, what they're seeing is a little bit of decline here. And, a lot of those people, 1 to 3 years that purchase homes, they overpaid for their homes. So in their desire to get a home, they overpaid for the home, and they haven't then seen the price appreciation in the short term that they might see. However, in the long term, they're going to see price appreciation as well. So just keep that in mind. That's something to focus on. Um, so if we look at 1 to 3 years, 7 to 10 years, you can see what's going on here. So those people in that 7 to 10 year time frame, those are the ones to probably focus on in terms of trying to get them to list their homes and move up. So you might want to go through your database and look for those people in that 7 to 10 year category, and go after them. Average equity for these sellers is $116,000. That's average equity. So and you can look at this little chart here to see the kind of equity that's out there. So these people that have been in their homes for a while, they have some pretty significant equity that they could put into another property, and buy something new that is bigger than what they currently have. So what this means for your business, strong price growth limits the lock-in effect. So reach out to past buyers. Their strong equity position can offset the higher borrowing costs. So the interest rates won't have as big effect on them because they have so much equity in their property they can afford to move. They haven't missed the peak. They captured 10% more equity growth after 2022. So by waiting, just because there's not multiple offers out there for properties doesn't mean that they missed the peak of appreciation for their property. And compared to 2022, current sellers have more equity and more inventory to view. So I think that that's something important for us to think about as agents. And I have placed a copy of this slideshow in your shared folder. I created an IAR folder in your shared Dropbox folder. And this will be something that can be important to you to use maybe with someone on a listing appointment, or you could even maybe make a video of this and post it on social media, that kind of thing. So just so that you know, that's the information from IAR. And I think it's kind of useful to think about those things. Now, to give you some updates from Realty World, we have a session coming up with Gabrielle Jeans, and it's on Wednesday, tomorrow, March 19th, at 1 o'clock Eastern time. So would really encourage you to take advantage of the Realty World University courses, and Gabrielle does an excellent job with those courses. You can watch the recording of it, but it's never as good as the live version because there's no way for you to answer and ask any questions if you have them. So take advantage of that and think about taking that class. Questions now. Do any questions that you have for me that you'd like to ask on any subject? It doesn't have to be on the things we talked about, but just anything in general that you would like to ask. This is your opportunity to unmute yourself and ask those questions. Okay, I'm not hearing any questions, so either you're not unmuted or you don't have any questions. So I will presume that you don't have any questions, and we'll move on to kind of the subject of one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, and that is about your database and your CRM. And so we're gonna start this slide presentation, and hopefully you can see this. Um, do you see the slide presentation?
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I see it.
Money. You probably can't hear the video. I don't know. Do you hear the Do you hear the music?
I don't hear any music though.
Okay, well,
See it, no music.
okay, hang on a second here. I gotta do this share right. So you got the music. Ah, hang on a second. There's a little box that I have to check. Okay, you should be seeing my screen now. Do you see my screen? Whoops. You guys see my screen? Somebody unmute and let me know.
It's blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
It's blue, right?
Yeah, blue.
Okay. Well, it's not playing the sound now. Let's see if I can get it to play the sound. It's not playing the sound now. So, oh well, it's not important. Main thing is I want to talk about is getting the most from your CRM, and which stands for customer relationship management software. Your CRM is really a gold mine for you, and to get the most out of your CRM, you need to follow some basic principles. And I've talked about this in various ways through the years. So those of you that have been around for a while, this isn't new to you, but it's something that we need to remind ourselves of. I even need to remind myself of this as well, is that our customer relationship management software um, is a gold mine for us and can really help our business grow. And I talked last week about the fact that if you're not adding to your database, then your business is going to decline. It's not going to grow if you're not adding to your database on a regular basis. So the way to make your business grow is through your database. And so one way to do that is to add people. But once you get them in your database, it's how you manage them, it's how you grow that database that's really important. So we're going to talk about some basic principles of getting the most from your CRM. It doesn't matter what CRM you use. You can use the one that we have available to all of us, which is the Bold Trail, formerly KB Core CRM. That's available to all of us, and you can use that. Or you can use any one that you prefer. There is a whole host of CRMs that are out there available for your use. I personally think the Bold Trail CRM is a pretty good CRM. So if you're not using anything else, then I highly recommend that you use the Bold Trail CRM because it does all the things you need a CRM to do. So let's take a look at what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to choose a CRM. We're going to talk about steps to using your CRM. We're going to talk about preparing your database, and then we're going to talk about mining your database. So those are the key elements that we're going to be talking about. And then finally, care and feeding of your database. So what is the best CRM? Well, the best CRM is one that you will use. That may seem obvious, but you know, you've got a great CRM in Bold Trail, but if you don't use it, then it's no good to you. So whatever CRM you choose one that you will actually use. So if you don't like Bold Trail, then find one that you like, that you will actually use, and use that CRM. That's the best CRM, is one that you're going to use. Any CRM is going to do this, but you need a CRM that's going to be able to store basic contact information, such as their phone numbers, their emails, their address, spouses' names, things of that sort. So your basic contact information for your clients and your prospects need to be able to be stored in that CRM database. You need the ability to record a note concerning contact results, so that when you reach out and you make contact with someone in your database, or they reach out to you and make contact with you, you need a way of making a note so you can remember what happened when you had that uh, uh, interaction with your client or your prospect. And that's important for the futures. So when you make notes now, that's so that in the future you can remember what you talked about the last time you talked. And the ability to schedule a follow-up activity and reminder. So you need that ability to be able to, after you've had an interaction with a client, to schedule a follow-up activity and to remind yourself when that activity is due. So in some way, it would alert you to the fact that you have something to do on a particular day. And so the CRM needs to have that ability to be able to do that. You also need the ability to categorize and sort your contacts quickly. In the Bold Trail CRM, you have hashtags to do that. And other CRMs have different things, categories, whatever you want to call it. But what you want to be able to do is categorize and then sort your contacts by those categories. So, for instance, uh, you might want to set up categories of how long ago they bought their home, because that would then be an excellent contact list for you to reach out to people and talk about how much their property's appreciated recently. And so that can help you easily access that list. And you need some sort of automated follow-up, either a drip email or some kind of a campaign that will be ongoing, so that you have a way of staying in touch with your database and nurturing them. So if you have a buyer, you want to nurture that buyer. If you have a seller, you want to nurture that seller or a potential seller. If you just have someone in your sphere of influence, you want to nurture them. You want to give them relevant real estate information on a regular basis, so that they remember you're in the business. You know, how many times do you get asked by somebody, "Hey, are you still in the business? Are you still a realtor?" They shouldn't be asking that, because if you're reaching out to them on a regular basis with real estate related content, or they see real estate related content periodically on your social media, then they will realize, yes, you very much are still in the real estate business. So that's an important part of your CRM. So now let's take a look at the steps to using your CRM. So the first thing you want to do is you want to upload a list of your clients and your prospects. Typically, you're going to use a comma separated value spreadsheet, uh, or you can hand enter. But if you already have your clients in a spreadsheet or something like that, you could upload it to your CRM. Almost every CRM allows you to upload a spreadsheet of data into their CRM, which is a quick way to do it. Otherwise, you have to hand enter each one. Not that that's bad, because by entering each one of your prospects, it makes you think about them and also think about what the next action might be with them. So there's advantages to both ways. So you just have to keep that in mind. Then you want to categorize your list. You want to put your list into categories. So for instance, you can have A clients. These are your A list people, and they're clients who have purchased or referred someone who has purchased. So these are people that have made money for you already. And then you have your B people, and these are people you know, and they know you, and they know what you do. Now, your goal with B people, of course, is to turn them into A people. So B people are very valuable to your database. And then C people, this is everybody else. These are people that you have met, but you don't really know well. Leads would go into this category. So any leads that come in through your website uh, or other sources that you may getting leads from. These are C prospects. They're just prospects. You don't really know them. They don't really know you. And your goal with C prospects is to get them to know you and for you to get to know them, to turn them into Bs. So it goes, C's get turned into B's, B's get turned into A's. And A's, of course, are the ones that make you money. So the next step is preparing your database. So make sure that you have complete contact information, name, address, phone, email. If you don't, you need to get that information from the people in your database. So if it's not complete, you need to make it complete. Then you want to add any birthdays or anniversary dates that you may have a record of. So, in the rounds of doing business, a lot of times people will say, oh, yesterday was my birthday, or hey, my wife and I are going to out for our anniversary tomorrow night, or you pick up that information. Well, you make a note of that in your database, in your CRM, so that then you can recognize their birthday or their anniversary. And of course, you know the anniversary of when they purchased a house. So you can put that in your database as well. And then you can send out an email on the anniversary of their home purchase, or you could send them a note on the anniversary of their home purchase. And you can remind yourself to do those kind of things by using your database. Then what you want to do is, after you've done these first two steps, and the third step is reach out to your database to try and fill in any missing information that you don't have. So if you have a phone number but not an email, then give them a call or text and see if you can get their email. And vice versa. If you have just an email, but you don't have their phone, you might email them and see if you can get that information and use it as a point of contact. Now, you may not want to just call them up and say, hey, I don't have your email. What's your email? Instead, what you might want to do is call them up and have a real estate related conversation, maybe talk about price appreciation and how much their property is appreciated through the years. By the way, I have some interesting information I could share with you. What's your email address? And you could get it that way. So that's just a common sense way of getting the information and filling in those gaps in your database. Now, then you want to go through your database and you want to schedule a first activity with each and every contact in your database. There should be an activity coming up for them. It could be an in-person meeting. It might be an email. It might be snail mail. It might be a phone call. It might be a text. It might be social media interaction. Whatever it is, you need to schedule that activity. And so you go into your database, and for each contact, you pull up each contact one at a time. You look at them, and then you schedule that activity that is going to occur next. Then you prepare your database by setting a reminder for these activities to alert you to perform them. So not only do you set up the activity, the task or email or whatever it is, but then you remind yourself to do it. That's one of the key things to make this all work for you. Determine an interval of contact for each category that you have. So your A's, your B's, your C's, how often are you going to reach out to them? Weekly, monthly, semi-annually? What is going to be the interval that you reach out to those people? So determine what that interval of contact is, and then schedule any automated follow-up like drip emails or campaigns in accordance with that uh, interval of time that you have set up. So you want to schedule those things so that they happen in whatever time. So if you're going to communicate with your A's semi-annually, then you want to set up the campaigns to communicate with them semi-annually. If you want to communicate with them monthly, then the campaign needs to be monthly. So you decide how often you're going to communicate with your sphere of influence or your prospects or whatever. If it's a prospect, you might want to communicate with them weekly or even daily when they're a new prospect. And then determine what type of activity works best for you. Are you good on the phone? Do you like calling people and talking to them on the phone? If so, then schedule yourself phone calls. Are you better in person, face to face? If you're better in person, face to face, then schedule in-person meetings. Schedule lunch meetings or coffee meetings or breakfast meetings. There's lots of ways that you can get face to face. Do pop-bys. There's just lots of different things that you can do to get face to face with your property or with your prospect base. Maybe email's your thing. You're really good at emails. Or maybe video. Maybe you're really good at making videos, and this is a good way for you to communicate with your databases by video. So determine what works for you and what you like to do. It doesn't have to be the same for every person. Now, we talk a little bit about mining your database, because your database really is a gold mine. That's really where your money's going to come from. And so you want to get that money out of the ground, because when it's in the ground, it does no good. It has no value. So you want to get it out of the ground. You want to mine it. And once you mine it, then it has value because it has money value on the open market. So if you look at this kind of as a wheel, okay, so you schedule a reminder, well, you schedule a follow-up with a client, and then you schedule a reminder to remind yourself to reach out. And then when it's time to reach out to them, you read the prior note. So what did you talk about last time you met with them? And then you reach out to them in your chosen fashion: phone call, text, email, whatever way it is in person that you're going to reach out to them. And then you make a new note about what you talked about on your contact. And then you schedule a follow-up. When's the next time you're going to do the same thing, reach out to them? And then you're going to schedule a reminder to remind yourself to do that. And then when that reminder reminds you, you're going to read the prior note that you made, or notes, because you're going to have a whole list of them from every time that you've contacted them. And then you're going to reach out to them and contact them. So that's how you mine your database. It's a wheel. It's a wheel that drives business. So you just keep going through this. So you keep scheduling a follow-up. You keep scheduling a reminder. When that reminder comes due, you make the contact. You put a note. You read the notes, and then you make a new note, and then you go on right back through it again and again and again. If you continually do this with every prospect, every contact in your database, I guarantee that you'll get business from that activity. It's a sure thing, but you have to do it. No one else can do it for you. You have to be the one to do it. Keep in mind, real estate is a contact sport. you cannot get business from people that you don't contact. So it's a contact sport. Get out there and contact your database. Now, let's talk a little bit about care and feeding of your database long term. You want to add new contacts to your database on a daily basis or at least a weekly basis. If you're not adding in contact at least on a weekly basis, then you're probably not still in business. You need to constantly be looking at potential new people to add to your database. So add new contacts to your database on a daily basis, and then review your database first thing in the morning and last thing in the afternoon or evening. So I recommend one of the first things you do in the morning is that you take a look at your database. Maybe right after it depends on what your morning routine is, but as soon as you get in the routine where you're starting to check emails and things of that sort, I would look at your database and see what you have on tap for the day. And that will give you an indication of what you need to be doing for that day. And then take a look at it in the late afternoon when you're ready to stop working for the day. Take a look at your database. Is there anything left undone that you need to reschedule? And then take a look at what might be coming up the next day or the next week so that you're prepared for what's going to happen the next day. And if you do this on a daily basis, again, it will keep your database top of mind awareness for you. We often talk about top of mind awareness for prospects about us, but we need to be top of mind aware of our prospects, the people that are in our database. And again, the goal is to move C's to B's and B's to A's so that they make money for us. So we have to strategize. How's the best way to make a C a B? How's the best way to make a B an A? What kind of campaigns, automated campaigns might I create? What kind of social media posts? What kind of videos might I do that would help convert people to the different categories? And then purge your database with non-responsive contacts. Periodically, one of the things that I do is I go through my database and I look them up in the BLC to see if they're still in their house. Sometimes I find that they've sold their house through somebody else. I don't want them in my database anymore. Obviously, they preferred to do business with someone else, and so I want to get them out of my database. So if they're not responding to me, or worse yet, they're buying through somebody else or somebody else's client, then get rid of them. Get them out of your database. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you have people in your database that are still good. Remember that your database is the biggest asset in your business. And if you went to sell your business at some future date, then you need an asset to sell that is well maintained. And your database could be that asset if you do it right. So you have to do it right. You have to remember that this is your biggest asset in your business. This is a bigger asset than your car or anything else. It's that database. And so you want to take care of that database. So here's what you know how to do now. You know how to choose a CRM. You know how to set it up. You know how to mine your database for business. And you know how to grow your database into a business asset. So that's what I have for you today as far as the CRM. I'm going to stop my screen share now and get out of this. And any questions before we end? All right. Well, I highly encourage you to take a hard look at your database, and if you haven't done anything with it recently, make today the day you're going to start to do something with it. It will pay dividends for you long term. Thank you for attending the webinar today, or the wherever you want to call it, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thursday the 20th, we're having our group meeting, right? So we'll see you then. We're going to have pizza. Does anybody have a particular pizza that they like?
I like all pizza.
20th, right? Yeah. Does anybody have any particular pizza they like? Otherwise, I'll just get kind of pepperoni and sausage, and everybody okay with that?
All pizza's good, but I don't think I can make it this Thursday.
Okay. Well, we'll miss you, Sean. And you'll miss the pizza.
I know.
All right.
Robin was out of town, so I've had my fair share of pizza the last few days.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Thanks, guys. See ya. Thanks.
Bye.